But yeah, that was the momentary rock star moment for me.
Was that अगर wall नहीं होता तो क्या होता? You said something like architecture नहीं होता. Wow. Sketching or computer drafting?
So I can't computer draft well,
Really?
so it's sketching. So we have done some very interesting experiments, Sibani. Come walk with me. Everybody actually adopted a plant.
Oh, okay.
And so they actually have names for their plant, they take care of the plant, and when somebody goes out of office or goes on a holiday,
about to ask that question. What happens
they actually
then?
gives the plant to someone else to take care of them for those many days.
Okay.
So that connects and binds people together very well.
Neighbourhood design, something which has become so relevant in attracting and retaining talent in the post-COVID world. Hi, I am Moon Talukdar from Bristol Furniture. In this episode of Reframe, we bring to you a conversation between architect Sandip Agarwal of Practice and architect Sibani Sarma of Plant around neighbourhood design. At Reframe, we highlight the workplace stories that are employee-centric. Enjoy.
Hi Sandeep, how are you doing?
Hi Shivari.
Sorry for the delay. Actually, there was this.
Hey, absolutely no problem.
There was this picture. Do you recall anything when you see this one?
Oh, where did you get this?
So I believe you were Sir JJ, Mr. JJ at College of Architecture.
Okay, so this was that in 1990s when I had some hair on my head.
And I have heard. Okay, yeah, that's a lot of hair. I'm sorry.
But it was. But yeah, that was the momentary rock star moment for me.
I'm sure. And I believe the cracking question was that अगर wall नहीं होता तो क्या होता? Do you even recall your answer?
No, I don't.
I even know that, but you said something like architecture नहीं होता. Wow. So are you still friends with some of these people?
No, most of them. So in fact, the hostel gang where we used to belong and stay together and live together was very close, and we are still very close. We do meet up every month, once in a while, and others also we are in communication, but not so much. It's not that we end up talking about it.
Yeah, I think isn't it significant that something like this also happens at the workplace today, right? And I think HR managers across are struggling with the fact that people actually hang out in a office because they have good friends there rather than the organization itself. So have you tackled that in any way in your designs?
Yeah. So what happens is we understand that like to belong to a tribe, and this happened, and friends in JJ stayed together. Because we stayed together in a hostel, so we formed a tribe, kind of a tribe. And same happens in workplace as well. Mm-hmm. When you do similar kind of work, or you have similar kind of objective, or you have similar kind of markers, at that point you want to belong together and work together, and as well as measure yourself along with your colleagues and friends. And that we realize that when we are designing spaces, we need to make spaces which are more community driven, so that these people are able to come into office and belong to a certain part of the office. Of course, that part of the office has to give them many more facilities as well, but right. that was one very significant part.
So is this what you call neighborhood design in today's world?
Yes. In a way, there is a very famous urban design saying that it's first life, and then spaces, and then buildings. In the similar way, what we call neighborhood design is that first it is first life of the people who actually work. It's very, very employee centric workplaces, and then spaces. So and then the workstations come in at that point of time, and how you place all the furniture in the. So the creation of the space becomes very important in lieu of in connecting it to the life that they have. So yes, so now offices are getting into this new buzzword called neighborhood design. Yes.
And have you typically been working on something like this, or have you done something in a design where you actually establish a neighborhood, and have you seen the impact as well?
Yeah, so the transition has been slower. What we did was we started creating the social spaces in the offices with breakout spaces quite some time back. But the social spaces then transitioned into great food spaces as well. And then the hybrid work environment came in, and at that point of time, we realized that a person does different kinds of work. There's collaboration work as well as focused work that you do in an office. And now you need to give space to that focused work, to that collaborative work, and to the social spaces as well.
Right.
So when all three you combine together, you're almost forming that segment of neighborhood that you need to create, where you get the independence to be a little private, but
Right.
you also get the independence to socialize and meet people and be more collaborative with the entire office.
Okay, so Sandeep, we had spoken about food, but what are the other things that you do to boost friendship and a feeling of community at the workplace?
So we have done some very interesting experiments, Sibani. Come walk with me. Like in one of the offices that we did in Calcutta, we had actually done a lot of plants and greenery in the office, where of course the owners were also aligned with the thought of the property, and there everybody actually adopted a plant.
Oh, okay.
And so they actually have names for their plant, they take care of the plant, and when somebody goes out of office or goes on a holiday,
about to ask that question, what happens
they actually
then?
gives the plant to someone else to take care of them for those many days.
Okay.
So that connects and binds people together very well.
That's amazing. So Sandeep, here are some rapid fire questions, if I may call it so.
Sure.
Okay, very easy ones actually. Work or play?
Always play.
Okay. Sketching or computer drafting?
So I can't computer draft well,
Really?
so it's sketching.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. Learn by watching or learn by doing?
Learn by doing. So usually in architecture it's all doing. So yeah, it's learn by doing.
Okay. So I thought that architects are visual people and they need to see things first and then kind of do it. Is it something like that?
No, you can pick up a lot of visual cues, yes, but can you learn from there? I'm not very sure.
Okay. Travel to the past or travel to the future?
Travel to the future always.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought architecture taught you the other way around, right? We kind of keep going back to all these historical monuments.
Yeah, but
and all
the
that
past
for
is very
inspiration.
limited. You know that you can only go back so much, and the future you can actually go much, much ahead.
That's interesting. Okay. Least likely word to describe you?
As a jumping jack.
Well, okay. So you don't dance at all? Your last impulse buy?
It's always sneakers, running shoes.
Okay, so but do you run? I thought you cycle.
No, I do run. I gave up cycling some time back.
Really?
So it's more of running now.
Okay. Yeah, so Sandeep, when we had actually discussed that we would be meeting you, there were a few things that came up that we should ask you. We thought we should ask you, and there were suggestions actually. And we've come to that section where I need to ask you that question. It's called the Bristol question of the day.
Sure.
And that is the same part where I need my specs because I wouldn't be able to read it. Otherwise, I'm seeing the question for the first time myself. Okay, so this is Bristol question of the day is, what is the one lesson in workplace design that took you a very long time to learn?
When we started designing, our focus was largely on getting the areas right and getting the brief right.
Mm-hmm.
What we didn't realize was the soft side of human nature.
Right.
And that is something that we took a very long time to learn. And then that now has become the starting point of design. So life is now becoming the starting point of design. and everything other than life actually comes much later.
So what do you generally do then? What do you exactly do to understand what on the softer side?
So the starting part is obviously the process flow or the business process that the client gives us, and that actually helps us understand how the client wants his business to run, because ultimately, good design is also good business for him. But now we have started looking at it from the employee side as well, where we have started, building up those nesting spaces and those the volume of spaces that we give to an individual is much more now. Previously, the neighborhoods used to be only for the senior management. They used to get their own executive cabins, their own executive toilets, and everything. So they used to form a neighborhood, and the rest of the entire office was thrown into one on the other side. Now that's not there. We actually distribute neighborhoods as per the work that they perform. And so now if somebody goes into office, it's not like they are sitting in a sea of workstations, but they have more scalable food spaces or more scalable social spaces in the neighborhood itself.
Okay.
So that helps them to belong more to the office space.
Right, and that also makes them feel like some kind of an ownership, I'm sure.
Yes, and privacy as well as ownership, both of them, both these features actually help them to perform better, because they are now coming back from work as they have worked at home, and surprisingly, more and more people still say that they would like to work from home, and that's because the intimacy that home provided, in a way, the offices didn't.
Right.
And now what we are doing is that even in offices we are able to provide that intimate space.
Right.
Yeah. But again, the advantages of offices are that you are able to give them a better environment for hybrid work, because they are more tech enabled, and also, the culturally it is much more vibrant than a home is.
Right.
It's a little lighter.
Yeah.
Like stronger is not.
No, it's perfect.
But anyway, I think it's not so bad.
Retake. Just give a break.
I think I missed one. Okay. Did I miss one?